Hi guys, good day. My name is JANIS. I welcome you to Jumped Maths channel. Okay, today we want to be looking at indices, the laws of indices, the laws of indices. And firstly, here we have about 8 laws of indices. In mathematics, we have about 8 laws. So we're looking at the laws. First one we have is the multiplication law. Second one we have the division law. We also have the power law, which is the third one. The fourth one we have the product power law. We have number 5, we have the zero index. Number 6, we have negative index. Number 7, we have root power. And number 8, we have fraction index. So we'll be looking at these 8 laws of indices and solving examples in each of them. Okay, the first one here we have, it says the multiplication law. Multiplication law. Now, this multiplication law states that when you are multiplying numbers of the same basis, you add their powers. It's very simple. Multiplication law says when you're multiplying numbers of the same base, add their powers. For instance, let's say we have 3 raised to power what? 2 times another 3 raised to power 3. So now this is what? 3 raised to power 2 multiplied by what? 3 raised to power 3. So I'm multiplying numbers of the same base. Their bases are what? 3. So what do I do here? Automatically, I'm picking one of the base, which is 3, and I will add their powers. That's what? Multiplication law. So the power here is what? 2 plus what? 3, which is equal to what? 3. Then 2 plus 3 is what? 5. That is what? 3 raised to power 5. That's for multiplication law. It's very simple. Multiplication law. So in essence, for instance, when they give you a question like this, a raised to power x times what? A raised to power y. So what are you doing here? The bases are the same, a and a. So I'll pick one of the a, then I'll multiply their what? Add their powers. I'm not adding their powers, x plus y. So since you're having numbers and multiplying numbers of the same base, what you have to do here is just to add their power. So I'm adding, it now becomes what? X plus y. So this is my answer. A raised to power what? X plus y. So this is an example for letters and the ones for number. So it's very simple. Multiplication law says when you're multiplying numbers of the same base, add their powers. Okay, number 2 says, which is the division law. Division law. Now, this division law says when you are dividing numbers of the same bases, subtract their powers. When you are dividing numbers of the same base, subtract their powers. So I have this particular question. Let's say I have 4 raised to power what? 4 divided by 4 raised to power what? 2. So 4 raised to power 4 and divided by 4 raised to power 2. So automatically it says when you are what? Dividing numbers of the same base, subtract the power, then becomes 4 raised to power what? 4 minus 2, which is equal to what? 4 raised to power what? 2. Now, dividing number of the same base, subtract their powers. So I'm subtracted their what? I subtracted their powers, which is 4 minus 2. Give me 4 raised to power what? 2. So in essence, in terms of letter, for instance, let's say they give us x, a raised to power what? X divided by a raised to power what? Y. So it becomes what? I'm dividing numbers of the same base in terms of letter now. So it becomes what? A raised to power what? X minus y. I've what? Subtracted their what? Powers. This is for what? Division law. So the third one here we have the what? The product law here says when a number is raised to a power and raised to another power, multiply the powers. When a number is raised to a power and raised to another power, multiply the power. So for instance, we have, let's say we have 4 raised to power 2 raised to power 3. 4 raised to power 2 raised to power 3. So all I have to do here is becomes what? So when a number, which is 4, is raised to a power 2 and raised to another power 3, so it becomes I'm multiplying their what? Their powers. So it becomes what? 4 raised to power 2 times 3. So I'm multiplying their what? Their power. That's product law. A number is raised to a power and raised to another power. So multiply their power. So it becomes what? 4 raised to power what? 2 times 3, which is equal to what? 4 raised to power 6. So in terms of letter, it becomes what? A, for instance, a raised to power x raised to power y. So it becomes what? A raised to power, multiplying their powers now. A number letter A is raised to x and raised to y. So it becomes what? A raised to power what? X times y, which is equal to what? A raised to power what? X, y. That's for what? The product law. So move to the next one, which is what? Power law. Product power law here states that when you are raising different factor to a particular number, that power affects all the factors. When I'm raising different what factors to a particular number, that power affects all the numbers. So now we have this, for instance, we have 5pqx. They are all raised to the power of what? 2. So automatically it becomes what? 5. I'm sharing the power for everybody. 5 raised to power 2, p raised to power 2, q raised to power 2, and x raised to power 2. So now 5 raised to power 2 is what? Which is 25. So from here it becomes equal to what? 25 p square q square and x square. A particular what? Factor is raised to the power of 2. So the power, it affects all the factors. So this will happen here. That's what? Product power law. So number 5 will have the what? The zero index. Zero index law. Zero index law says any number or letter raised to the power of 0 is 1. A number and a letter raised to the power of 0 is 1. For instance, let's make reference to our law 2, which is what? The division law. From the division law, which is what? Division law. Remember the division law? From division law, remember we said 2 raised to the power what? 4 divided by what? 2 raised to the power what? 4. So division law says when you are dividing number of the same basis, what happens? You subtract their power. So automatically from here, I want to make reference from my division law. Automatically from here becomes what? 2 raised to the power what? 4 minus 4, which is equal to what? 2 raised to the power 0. So my zero index law says any number or anything raised to the power of 0 becomes 1. So 2 raised to the power 0 becomes what? 1. So anything, therefore, a raised to the power 0 is 1. 100 raised to the power 0 is 1. 50 raised to the power 0 is equal to what? 1. So the zero index law says any number or letter raised to the power of 0 is 1. Okay. Move to index. Negative index. So now this negative index states that when a number is raised to a negative power, or a negative index, it's equal to or the same as what? The reciprocal of that number raised to its power. Is equal to or the same as the reciprocal of that number raised to its power. So for example, we have, let's say we have 6 raised to the power minus 1. 6 raised to the power minus 1 and 6 raised to the power minus 1, which is negative index here, is minus 1. So it's same thing as saying the reciprocal of 6 is 1 over 6 raised to the power what? To the 1. This is what? The negative index. Another example on this negative index, for instance, I have 4 raised to the power what? Minus 3. It's same thing as saying what? The reciprocal of what? The 4 raised to its power 3. Seeing it? So when a number or letter is raised to what? A negative index, it's the same thing as saying the reciprocal of that particular number or letter raised to its power. The power remains. So in terms of letter, let's say I have a raised to the power minus b. So it's the same thing as saying what? the reciprocal of a, which is 1 over a raised to power what? B. So that's for what? Negative index. So move to what? Root power. We have the root power. Root power. So now, root power here says when a number is raised to what? A fraction. When a number is raised to a fraction, preferably we have the square, maybe square, cube, the fourth root, like that. So when a number is raised to the power of a fraction, the numerator is what? Is the what? Power, while the denominator of that power is the what? Is the square root. For instance, let's say they gave us 4 raised to power 1 over 2. So now, from this, we already know that 1 over 2 means what? Root. I get it? That means square root. It means square root. So the same thing as us saying square root of what? 4. So when a number is raised to the power of a fraction, so 1 over 2 is what? It means square root. 1 over 3 means cube root, like that. So let's have another example. For instance, I say they gave me what? They said 25 raised to the power was what? 1 over 2. So the same thing as saying what? Square root of what? 25. That means what? The denominator is the root, while the numerator is the power. So in terms of later, they can still have this a raised to power what? 1 over 3. A raised to power 1 over 3. Same thing as saying what? The cube root of what? A, which is what? This. Are you seeing it? So root power says when a number is raised to the power of a fraction, the numerator of that particular fraction is the power, while the denominator serves as the root. So from here now, which is what? 2. 2 is just square root. Then if I have 3, it becomes cube root. The same with 4, 5, 6, like that. So let me represent another example. For instance, I still have another example here. Let's say they gave me what? A raised to power what? Y over x. So the same thing as saying what? X root of what? A raised to power what? 5. X root of A raised to power what? 5. Are you following? Okay, good. So move to the last one here, which is the what? The fraction index. Fraction index. So move to what? The fraction index. And the fraction index here says when a number is raised to the power of a fraction. Remember, under the root power, I told you that when a number is raised to the power of a fraction, the numerator of that number becomes the power, while the denominator becomes the root of that particular number. So the same thing happens in fraction index. Fraction index, that means when the power is in a fraction. So when a number is raised to the power of a fraction, the numerator becomes the power, while the denominator becomes the root. But in fraction index, it says find the root of that number before raising it to its power. Find the root of that number before raising it to its power. So for instance, let's say they gave me 4 raised to power 3 over 2 is the question. 4 raised to power 3 over what? 2. So I already know this is what? 4 raised to power of a fraction. Index here is what? Is a fraction, which is 3 over 2. So now I should find the root of that number. So it becomes what? Of 4 raised to power what? 3. So I have to what? Because this 2 here becomes the root, which is square root of 4. So before I raise it to the power of 3, I have to get the root of 4. So from this part, it becomes what? Square root of 4 is what? 2 raised to power what? 3. Which is what? 2 raised to power 3 is what? 8. 2 raised to power 3 is what? 8. Which is what? This is what? Example of fraction index. Let's say for instance we have another example. We have 6. Okay, let's say I have 16. Let me use 16 raised to power what? 2 over 2. 2 over 2. Or 3 over 2. Okay, let's go with 3 over 2. So that means it becomes what? The square root of that particular number, which is 2 raised to power of what? 3. Times I have to get the root of that particular number before I raise it to the power of 3. So automatically from here it becomes what? Square root of 16, which is 4 raised to power what? 3, which is 4 raised to power what? 3. Are you following? So this is how to get. Now in terms of what later, let's say I have a raised to power what? X over y. So that means I'm getting the root of that what? Particular letter or particular what? Base before what? Raising it to the power. So the root is always the denominator, so which is y. While the power remains for the numerator, which is x. So from this part, it becomes what? Y root of what? A raised to the power of what? X. The y root of what? A raised to the power of x. So these are the what? Laws of indices. We have about 8 laws of what? Indices, an application in mathematics. So thank you very much for watching the video. So please like and subscribe to always get my notification anytime an update comes up. See you soon.